Hello, hello, lovely, and welcome to another episode of Loving Life with Court. Today, we are talking about a life that is loved and full of gratitude. I talk about gratitude quite a lot, but I have to tell you that throughout my healing journey, my spiritual journey, I have come to realize how fundamental practicing gratitude is to really live the life you want to live, and not just live the life you want to live, but love the life that you are living. And that all starts from appreciating every small and big thing that comes your way, whether it is lessons learned, experiences, love shared from other people, your body, your mind. Like, the list could just go on and on for what you are able to practice gratitude for. And today we are going to understand the correlation between gratitude and your self-love journey. So let's dive into it. My most common gratitude affirmation is I am grateful for every part of me. Something that I have learned over, I would say, the past few months is, in order to begin to change the parts of me that may not be as favorable as other parts, for example, weight gain or cellulite or stretch marks, all of these things that are beautiful, but society can convince you not to like, and you can convince yourself not to like. I have noticed that these parts of me are the most important parts of me to love and practice gratitude for, because the only way that I can really change, and this goes for you too, the only way to not just change but have lasting change is to first accept where you are now, practice love and gratitude for where you are at this moment, and allow that change to be motivated through utter gratitude and love. And when you are able to do that, the way you can maintain things, the habits that you build for yourself, it comes so effortlessly when it comes from love instead of hate. Because it is much easier to love something than it is to hate something. But when we are so caught up in, what society expects from us and what you expect from yourself, limiting beliefs that have been projected onto others, it can be really difficult to love things, and hate can just come naturally. So let's really understand how gratitude, being grateful, and loving every part of you can have such a profound impact on your self-love journey. So your first question to ponder on today, this morning, or whatever time you're listening, is, when was the last time you thanked you? When was the last time that you took time to thank yourself for where you have brought yourself today, where you are today, what you are consciously doing each and every day to improve yourself, the time that you are taking to fuel your body, move your body? Like, when is the last time you actually thanked yourself? And if you can't remember, take a minute to do it right now. It can be so simple as just, thank you for getting out of bed this morning. Thank you for taking the time this morning to brush your teeth. Thank you for getting in the car and driving to work, because it's a priority and it's important to keep a roof over your head. Like, just simple things that you have done today, or it could be bigger things. Thank you for starting this beautiful, amazing self-love journey that is just the beginning to such a profound impact on your life. So really just take a moment, and if you can't think of anything, just say thank you. Now, there's a lot of power in choosing gratitude. When you are grateful for something, this is a feeling of thankfulness, showing appreciation, of kindness, emotion of being pleased and relieved. This is all really what being grateful stems from. But I think that gratitude and grateful, it's such a commonly thrown around word that we can actually lose meaning of where it's stemming from and the significance it has in your life. I want to explain to you how gratitude can really impact your life. And the first thing is, gratitude has a very magical and beautiful way to alleviate very common emotions, feelings, experiences that I'm sure we've all experienced. And these include things like anxiety, pain, doubt. When you are able to practice gratitude at your lowest points of life, it completely shifts the way that you see things, the way that you experience things. And overall, if we really want to dive into it, the more that we're able to practice gratitude, the more of these ailments and pain and anxiety and doubt actually relieve itself on a subconscious level where it's no longer impacting your day to day because your mind is just programmed to see everything through a very optimistic and grateful perspective. There's also a lot of power in recognizing that things just happen for a reason. And right now, you may be in a very low place, not knowing why things are just so shitty at the moment. But every time that I have had lows in my life, I am able to recognize now that those were the most fundamental parts of my life to bring me where I am now. And learning gratitude for me came from pain and suffering and anxiety. When I first started my journey, my spiritual journey, my healing journey, I had so much energetic tension, like tension in my body that was all influenced by the low energy that I had within my body, that the only decision I really had was I either sit in this pity for the rest of my life or I start to look at things at a different perspective. And when I began to recognize all the breakdowns that I was having, the things that were not going my way, it was all relating back to my perspective on things. And I've said it a few times on the show now, but there are so many times, like, I'll be having a full-blown breakdown. Like, I get them about every 3 to 4 months. And I just have a good cry and have a little poor me moment because it's okay to have those. But now, even in those moments, it's such a reflection of where my journey has brought me to, because I am able to see that at the end of this, I'm going to have such a huge realization, and that I know that breakdown is happening for a reason. So if you have been dealing with a lot of anxiety lately, a lot of doubt, a lot of pain, know that these are just motions to something even greater and better, and realizations. Like, sometimes shit can just really suck, but it is the ability, like I said, to practice gratitude that can make things feel so much lighter and really alleviate any underlying pain or emotion that's being triggered in those moments. And to give you some science behind this, gratitude has the power to change our neurostructures to make us feel happier and more content, even with tragedy. So this is kind of everything that I'm putting together, everything that I was touching on, is you have the power, your mind has the power to change your brain, your neurostructures, to make you feel happy, or to make you feel lighter, to make you feel less stressed, I guess, and more content, even when there's tragedy, even when there's difficult times. And this is everything that I really touch on with this show, is it is possible to love the moments that are not the best moments in your life. And that's what loving life really means, is the ability to be grateful and to love every moment, even when those moments are not favorable, even when you deal with grief or loss or pain, anxiety, whatever it is possible. It all just has to do with your mindset and your perspective. And I've said it already, but gratitude is a form of optimism. And this perspective is actually quite contagious. This trait, if you are able to make gratitude a part of your being, like it's just an automatic response, it truly becomes contagious. And the people around you, you will notice, they will also be able to understand where you will be, if you're not already there, that we get to choose the life we want to live. And why not make it a grateful one? And when you have this perspective, the people that don't take it on are not meant to be a part of your path. And the people that do, that they're able to see your perspective, those are the people you want to be surrounded by. It will become contagious. You will inspire others to really live a life of gratitude. And that is where Loving Life with Court all stems from, is making life contagious, making a good life, a life that is loved, contagious, where you just spread the good energy to those who are around you, and vice versa. What you put out comes back to you in tenfold. So where do you start? Because if you find that gratitude, even affirmations are quite difficult for you, it can be even more difficult to think, how the heck am I supposed to include this in my everyday, to shift my neurotransmitters and to change my brain and to reprogram my mind, where gratitude just comes naturally to me? Because it can be a pretty big leap. And the first thing is starting small. Gratitude is chosen. Every day you have the choice. Like, this is a gift to you. You have the choice to practice gratitude and to be grateful and make gratitude a part of your being. So give yourself permission to choose this, to no longer fall into these habits of self-pity or destructive behaviors, and give yourself permission to have a different perspective on life and how you deal with things. And of course, it's difficult to practice gratitude every moment. So start when it matters the most. When things are difficult, gratitude has the most powerful impact on not just changing your perspective, but programming your mind. When you are able to be in the most darkest moments and find just one thing to be grateful for, like your eyes are freaking open, you woke up today. Like, there's so many people in the world that wanted to wake up today and didn't have the chance to, and you got that gift. So that's just one huge thing that you can be grateful for when you feel like things are just too difficult and you don't know where to start. And be as conscious as possible. Bring awareness to every moment of your day. There is a saying in the Buddhism language, and it's Katunyuta, which means the ability to remember what one has done to you and the help that you have received. So it's the ability to remember at your lowest moments, or even at your greatest moments, because it both ways has a profound impact, to remember that there has been times in your life that people have done to you in a positive way, in a great way. And it's your job to do the same thing for yourself. Be conscious, bring awareness to what your thoughts are, the moment that you are in, as much as possible. And this really leads to being in the moment. And when you're in the moment, you're able to see things in a greater picture of, this is just one moment of my life. This is not going to have a lifelong impact. And in some cases, it could be, but then maybe consider, is that lifelong impact going to benefit me? Or am I going to learn from this? Is it going to help me? Like, this is where gratitude stems from, is being grateful even when things are shitty, and knowing that somewhere along your path, this lesson, this experience will help you. And I'll close with this, going back and tying everything in a nice little bow, everything I've talked about, is accept that you have the ability to be grateful for everything in your life. Like I said, you woke up today. Be grateful for your life. You have food in front of you. When you are eating your food, be grateful for the people that made that food for you, that you have the ability to access resources. You have water on tap in your kitchen. You have a grocery store somewhere near you, I'm sure, where you can access food. Really being grateful for every moment. For me, every time I eat, I try my very best to really put in the energy that the others have done for me. If I'm eating fresh fruit, like, there was a person who intentionally planted that seed so that fruit could come and I could eat it. And I'm sure they didn't have me in mind, but just that small thing of, I get to eat this food. I get to wake up today and have breakfast and fuel my body and feel good. Like, I get to do this. You get to do this. Even the phone you have, what you're listening to right now, the access to podcasts, the access to, literally, you could ask Google any question and have an answer in 2.2 seconds. The people who built your phone, who had it in mind that they wanted to make other people's life more simpler, or walking down the street, like this could be the most simple one. Being grateful for me driving, I am grateful that somebody decided, let's put a road here so that people can drive on it and get from point A to point B in the fastest way possible. Living downtown Toronto, where there's an insane amount of traffic, I'm still grateful that I have access to a car and roads that somebody intentionally put there for me to be able to drive on. Like it could just go on and on and on. But it doesn't need to be big. It can start really, really small. Like I said, literally just opening your eyes this morning. And remember that force turns into ease. The more we allow ourselves to practice, even if it feels forced in the beginning, the easier it becomes. If you're just like, oh, this is not for me, it's not going to work, I'm not going to do it, it's always going to feel difficult to do. But the more that you do it, and even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's hard to do, it does become easier, to the point that you will one day just realize that your brain has programmed itself to just think in a whole new way that stems from gratitude. And tying this all up, we started with self-love. When you are able to practice gratitude for the external, it becomes so much easier to practice gratitude for the internal. So starting, on the maybe more subtle ways of what's around you that you can be grateful for. And that makes such a profound impact on how you can love yourself and be grateful for yourself, even if you have stretch marks, even if you have cellulite, even if you have a little tummy, even if your brain doesn't work that well sometimes, whatever it is. And I'm grateful for you today. Thank you for tuning in. I love you so much. Friendly reminder to not only be kind to others, but also to your beautiful, kind, amazing, grateful self. I will see you on the next episode.